recently scrolling through the Facebook and checking out what some of these people are putting on here is really crazy. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking. But anyway, sometimes they share a little too much. But I thought I would pass this along to some of you guys. This is Randy. Randy is a second cousin of mine. And this kid, I think they bought him a camera this year. And he is unbelievable with this camera. I was going to show off some of his pictures. Here's one of his girlfriends, I guess. I don't know her, but they're sitting in front of my old house in Palmetto. Not really. I don't know whose house it is, but it's kind of cool. As you can see, I mean, really nice. Just it has a lot of charisma, you know. The pictures say something, you know. And I mean, these guys are probably good models too. I don't know, but just really nice. And Randy, I mean, it catches my eye, and keep doing what you're doing there. Really nice. Let's go back home, and I'm going to show you another one here. This is my buddy Frank, Capt. Frank. Frank is one of these guys. He too could be a professional photographer. Nature at its best. I mean, he climbs in the woods and the swamps and gets right in the face of the alligators and snakes and bugs, and I mean, he's just all over the place, you know. And nature, wild things, right up his alley, you know. Girls, I mean, he's got some good looking girlfriends too that he gets to take pictures of. But you can see these are nature shots, you know, just as the sun is setting. And I would think, or my first thought is that you know, he touched them up in Photoshop, but I don't believe that's true. He's just one of these guys that hangs out in the woods, takes pictures. Anyway, I had a picture in here that I saw. I believe this is his recent trip to Missouri, and there's that picture. And I like the picture. It's got a lot of architecture to it. I like this kind of stuff, but it doesn't have that blown out sky effect. And so I was playing with this a little earlier and thought I'd show you guys what I come up with. So here's Frank's picture, and I haven't done anything with it. I just downloaded it off the internet, and I found this picture on the internet. Red sky. It's not the same resolution as Frank's picture, but for these purposes here, it will work just fine. You get the idea. And that's what I was looking to do. Give that red sky look, and you know, make it different. Just kidding. Alright, let's we're going to add a layer mask to this picture so we can go back and touch it up, and we're going to change the blend mode. I normally start around overlay, you know, give that sky some different effects, but we'll just fly through these blend modes and see what we can come up with here. Don't need to take a lot of time, you know. You just go, oh, yuck. And the faster you go, when you see it, you stop and you say, whoa, dude, that's cool. There it is. Almost perfect, you know. So now I'll take the paintbrush tool, painting on this layer mask with the black brush, and we'll just take some of that red purple off of the landscape down here. Keep it up into the skyline there off the bridge. We can lower that opacity there and just, you know, slowly have it blend in with the original picture or something, or make it look like, you know, it's just kind of a weird feel, but I think on this one we're gonna trash this thing to the max anyway. Sorry, Frank, but let's just leave this at 100% dark and rich, vibrant. And I'm going to duplicate this layer, and down here we're going to take this layer and we're going to bring it down so we have a reflection on the water. Oil spill. Cool. So with that, we need to move this around just a little bit. I don't know if we yeah, let's move it back up into here. Sure. And like we did before, start with a layers adjustment. Ooh, that's kind of wicked. And we'll drop that opacity way down. Something there. That's good. Once again, on the layer mask, we'll take the paintbrush tool, painting with black. Black conceals and white reveals. And we'll just come up in here and I'll just ride that size as I'm painting. Just try taking some of that redness off of the tree. And when you get into some of these areas and you get really close, let me show you this. You know, you get in here and you've gone too far and you start taking out too much. You say, oh gosh, I slipped. You can change that paintbrush over to white, reveal it back. And if you got into an area, say like here, let's go ahead and paint this back up red, and you want to take that out, we'll switch over to the black. We can change this blend mode here to overlay, and maybe drop our opacity just a little bit, a little higher than that, about 50%. And then we'll just come in here and we'll take it off so slightly that we don't mess up the actual reflection that's on the water there. It's not the greatest example of it, but when you work around here and you change that opacity or that blend mode to overlay, when you're painting on that layer mask, I mean it works. It takes it out and it doesn't take the stuff off the sides where you painted out of the lines. So what I'd like to do is we'll make that background a regular layer. We're going to select all three of them. We will flatten them, turn it into a smart object. So if I want to come back to this later and change some of the settings, I can, or destroy it some more, which I probably will. Anyway, let's add a filter here. And I've topaz. Now, this is the last use setting that I used here, which that's not so bad, I guess. We can look at a couple of different ones here real quick, you know. Make it cold and brilliant. I don't know, that would be like a winter trip. I'm not sure when Frank made his little trip here. Probably wasn't too long ago. I don't know. Darken it up a little bit. Oh yeah, this was around Halloween, I believe. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's reset this, and I'm going to show you my favorite one here. It's this photo pop, and we're going to make this adaptive exposure, run it up there, and these region slider here, we'll take it about 30-40% here. And you wonder how Norman Rockwell did it. Let's bring that contrast up to make it look really, really wicked. Strong, bold. Okay, you get the idea. I mean, we got thousands of settings here, filters we can play with. And there it is. A beautiful piece of a masterpiece. Now, time to really trash it up. In my last video, I believe I showed this to you, or something there simple, similar thereof. We'll take the marquee tool and the lasso tool, and we're just going to zigzag this thing, tear up the edges all the way around. I should have a preset for this, and I believe I do, but I just like doing things kind of spontaneous. Now, we'll take our refine edge tool and take this radius up here. And this is a matter of taste here. You can just keep sliding and it'll keep doing little things until, you know, and it's hard to say if you like that now or not. But for the moment, I'm going to take it, okay? We'll take this contrast and we're going to run it all the way up. That makes the edges nice and crisp, hard. We can decontaminate any background color that may be there, and just click OK. Now, what we'll do is we'll duplicate that layer, and we'll turn the top one off. On the bottom one here, I'm going to add a levels adjustment layer, and we'll apply a clipping mask by holding the Alt key, clicking between the two layers. And on the bottom layer here, I'm just going to take this darkness slider and just turn it all the way so that it's black. I'm going to turn the top layer on. You don't see the bottom one, but we'll take this bottom one and we're just going to transform it up a little bit and just make it ever so slightly bigger, just giving it a little bit more depth, a little 3D effect. Fatten it up, you know. Let's do the bottom too. What the heck. Now, normally you're not going to see this thing 3D all the way around, but this is my picture. Okay. Now, we'll come here to the bottom. I'm going to hold the Alt key and we'll click this new layer icon on the bottom. We're going to come over here to our color picker and we're going to pick some colors. I'm going to stick with that blue. And now we'll take the gradient tool and we'll try to there we go. Let's go with that. Why don't we do this? Why don't we come up here and let's paint with the paintbrush tool, and we will change our opacity, paint with normal, change to white, bring some of this back in. Now what we're doing is we're taking away all that effect that we did there, and we can actually drive up to this little creek spot, you know, and let's figure out a way we can just you can bring the old big bus in here and sit down for a spell. Well, now we've gone too far, so let's come back. You can just drive in there and pull out the hot dogs. And Captain Frank can have a beer, and all I'll drink some iced tea and we'll tell a few war stories. We really did mess this up, didn't we? Anyway, Captain Frank, thanks for sharing your pictures with us. And Randy, you're doing an outstanding job there, buddy. I wish I was as talented as you are. But yeah, just drive on up, sit a spell, take a few pictures, and you wait long enough and that thunderstorm will roll through and you can get your own pictures. How about that? Well, once again, thanks for tuning, and we'll see you later. Is it any wonder